Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 random run, where we take a random character, random weapon, and try to beat Danger 5 with it. Hope you're all doing well. Let's see what the game gives me today. We've got the Sick, which we've already done, so let's go ahead and re-roll that one. And we have the Renegade. Renegade is one of my absolute favorite characters. Just love playing the Renegade because you get so many projectiles. So I'm looking forward to whatever weapon we end up with here. A roll, and Wand is probably the worst weapon we could have gotten because the extra projectiles don't do anything, but this should be pretty fun. We're just gonna make a ton of fire, so we should be able to deal at least quite a bit of damage with the fire that we're spreading all over. The main problem with Wand is that it hits one target and then we'll continue to hit that target even while it's burning out. But the Renegade actually kind of mitigates that because your wand gets multiple projectiles, and so that will help you shoot multiple enemies at once. Just to remind you what the Renegade does, we gain extra damage every time we buy a unique level 1 item. So in order to mitigate our percent damage penalty, we are going to need to do that as much as possible in order to make our burning damage actually useful from the wands. So let's roll here. Take elemental damage, but I'm really looking for harvesting, because getting early harvesting is just so huge. This is a weapon, or an item that we don't have yet. I'm not that worried about the unique Renegade items yet, because any item we buy is going to be unique. Sharp Bullet will be pretty nice. That will help our wand set even more things on fire. I almost passed on that wand, because I'm so used to ignoring this weapon. It's such a bad weapon that I very rarely actually buy it. Now that Torch and Screwdriver and stuff have been buffed, I think Wand might well be the worst weapon in the game. So you can see here, the burning damage that we get is only 1 per second, because we just don't have any percent damage because we're the Renegade. We take the harvesting here, we'll buy another wand. I definitely want to level these up as much as I can, or get as many of them as I can, and level them as much as I can. But with elemental weapons, they're balanced around having 5 extra elemental damage. So if you don't have 6 elemental weapons, you are losing a lot of damage compared to where the game expects you to be at. Now for the Renegade, that's a little less true because our damage is reduced at this point in the game until we've bought a few more unique level 1 items. But we still need to get our weapon set online so that we can eventually start killing things. You can see here that our clear speed is very slow, but we are at least setting everything on fire, which is pretty nice. And if we get even enough percent damage to go from 1 burning damage to 2 burning damage, that will help us out a ton. I'm gonna roll here. I'm still looking for harvesting, but maybe I'll take elemental damage. I think I will just take 1 elemental damage here. Lifesteal, pretty good for healing for this character, so I'm gonna grab that just to make sure we have some healing. I'm gonna buy the wand. Oh, obviously I just wasted 1 material there. Should have bought the coupon first, of course, if I was buying coupon, which we are. So, small sequencing error there, cost me 1 material. Dynamite is a unique level 1 item. Do I lock it? I think not. I think we can just roll into stuff we actually care about. I'll lock the cake here, roll 1 more time to see if we can level up at least one of these wands, and then I'm going to roll 1 more time for the same reason. These at least are good level 1 items, so they can help boost our percent damage with the Renegade. So having leveled up our wands, and bought a couple level 1 items to boost our percent damage, you can see that now our burning damage is 2 per second, which is a pretty big increase. Obviously, that's a 100% increase to our burning damage. Fighting this lamprey is going to be really difficult. Our single target damage is, of course, awful with this weapon. No chance we get to kill these curse aliens, unfortunately, but at least we made okay money. I'm going to take the insanity. We lose 3% damage, but Renegade's damage reductions mean that this will still increase our damage output, so you can see we gain 1 total damage there. The crit chance, not important, but it's not totally irrelevant either. I'm going to roll here. I'd really like to hit harvesting, because that will get us to 21 harvesting. And then I'll take the whistle, helmet, and cake for sure. Let's roll. Leveling the wand is going to be really nice, because when you're burning something, the highest damage burning effect overwrites the lower damage burning effects. So the level 2 wand burns for longer. We're going to be dealing more burning damage as we level it. It also scales with more of our elemental damage on its actual shot, which is a pretty big boost to our damage output as well. Definitely want both of these. We don't have either of them. And then I'm going to roll again to see if we can lock another wand. I can't, but I'll take the Ugly Tooth, because on Renegade, your goal is just to get as many different level 1 items as possible to get your percent damage back to the point where you're killing things with all of your attacks. That's by far our biggest priority. We're doing so many individual little pips of fire. The floaters that shoot a projectile every time we hit them with a projectile are a real problem for the Renegade, I have to say. Nice, got 1 curse alien. Boosting our curse is a massive benefit for this character as well. I'm going to try to pick up as many of these materials as we can before the end of the wave, but we're definitely suffering in terms of income because our wave clear is very low. I'll take the luck here. I do want to boost my economy, and that's a good way to do it. Then we'll buy a wand, level that up. I will take head injury for increased damage, up to minus 66% damage, minus 64, minus 62. So we're getting there. Bat we will take as well. Ritual, I think I will take, because lifesteal is pretty good for us. I'm going to pass on the garden. Oh, I almost passed on that wand also. I really need to pay attention to wands. I'm so used to fully ignoring that item. It's going to be really hard for me to actually look for it. One advantage that we have with this setup, despite our very, very low damage, is we get to take advantage of the pity rule for trees. You might not know this because the game doesn't really explain it anywhere, but trees have a certain amount of HP, but they also die just if they take a certain number of hits. I think it's 13 hits, and because we have so many projectiles, their very low damage doesn't matter because we just hit a tree with 1 volley of attacks and it dies because it's taking 13 hits. Scared Sausage. So the way this interacts with weapons that already do burning damage is it just increases their burning damage by 1, which is a pretty big boost. It's for us like buying an elemental damage for 10 materials, which is pretty good. But also it's a unique item for Renegade, so it's very good for us there also. I'm just going to take 2 elemental damage. Boosting our damage is really important, and we'll take the attack speed. At this point, I've gotten 25 harvesting. I obviously still want to increase that, but for now, the most important thing is making sure that we're actually able to clear the wave. An interesting choice here, we could level to a level 3 wand, because that gives us the highest burning damage, or I could level to a 3rd level 2 wand, which will give us the highest sort of DPS overall. I think I'm going to take the level 3 wand, because giving ourselves higher burning damage is going to help us more overall. Let's take the 2 level 1 items, because they're actually worth more, and then do a quick reroll here. I'm still going to buy the charcoal, even though we already have one, because it boosts our elemental damage, which is really important. An early starfish could be really nice, and we'll take the wand as well. Cyberball is a way to kill enemies that doesn't involve our weapons, which is pretty important for this character. But I think I'm going to pass on it. I think we just need to roll into more level 1 items. I need some movement speed. Our movement speed is very low, and I need defensive stats. We haven't been able to buy any defensive stats at all. Of course, the healers on this wave are a very high priority to kill. All of our damage is dealt slowly over time, so the healers completely negate our damage output if we don't take those down. You can see that the walrus there is living forever as a result of that. Did manage to kill that healer, which is good. The extra Pierce is helping so much. We're spreading so much more fire. That's a massive bonus that we got, was finding the sharp bullet. Lifesteal could help us survive, so I could just take the level 2 lifesteal. I think we can do better than that, though. Yeah, I'm going to take the elemental damage. Armor would also be really nice, but elemental damage, I think, is the most important, especially because I'm buying the starfish, which is going to require us to kill enemies to get value out of it. We'll buy the starfish and go ahead and level our wands here. Ritual we're passing on again, but I'm going to roll. We'll take a fertilizer for sure. Leather vest is nice also. That's some defensive stats finally. And then with 2 good items locked, I think I'm not going to reroll for 9. We've already kept the 1 item locked for several waves, and so we don't need to reroll and try to lock other stuff, because we already just have several things locked. Ouch. We're doing okay at this point. I'm honestly pleased with how well we're doing, but of course we have no defensive stats, and I did just buy the starfish, so if I take a hit, then we are in big danger. We went down to 1 HP there. Making pretty poor income on wave 8. I think I just need the max HP. Playing on 20 max HP is too painful. Although, of course, we prefer lifesteal, we're still going to buy the plant. It's a unique level 1 item, so it boosts our percent damage. We'll buy this and then roll. The pumpkin, how much do we care about pumpkin? So it'll increase my piercing damage on the wands, giving us just extra piercing, which is really important. And we do have native piercing as well, so I think we'll take the pumpkin and the eye surgery. Of course, we're taking eye surgery, but pumpkin, I think, does matter, even though mostly we're just using the pierce to apply fire. The pumpkin is still very useful. We'll take the shady potion as well. The really high health enemies there are pretty dangerous because our single target damage is, of course, terrible. Trying to survive the elite is going to be really tough, so we're going to need some help with that before we get to the elite. I actually haven't checked when my elites are, so which you always want to do. Definitely don't be like me and not remember when the elites are in a wave. You should know so that you can plan around them. Trying to kill that curse alien, but we are starting to be under a lot of pressure from the actual enemies, so I need to clear the rest of the wave before I can really think about killing the curse alien. I will say our income is very good for the weapon that we're using. Left 87 on the ground, which is really not bad either. I'll take the 3 armor here for sure, and then more elemental damage. And then this whetstone is great. Can we buy everything? We can. So getting 9 lifesteal. Okay, so our elites are 12, 14, 18. Getting 9 lifesteal is massive for this build. Celery tea could be good. If we can clear enemies next wave. I don't think we can. I would really like additional XP gain because our levels are quite low. But I don't think we can actually manage to kill enough enemies next wave to make the celery tea worth it. Here, I'm just going to level to level 2 wands. I think having 1 high level wand is fine, but I'm just going to go ahead and cap there. We don't need 2 level 3 wands, is what I'm saying there. I'll take the Gummy Berserker. Attack speed is good. Obviously, losing armor is painful, but we're a Renegade. You just got to buy every level 1 item that you don't have yet. I would love the power generator for additional percent damage. Very important for this character, even though you buy it at lower value. But we have -5 speed, so we just can't buy it yet. I will say we're getting there. We Have a ways to go before I'm comfortable with this build, but things are looking up. The starfish helped a ton with our economy. We really needed that boost. Our harvesting is now in a much better spot as well. And the whetstone bringing us to 10% lifesteal is pretty big also. That gives us a lot of healing. Obviously, with the Renegade, you want to use lifesteal because you have all the extra projectiles, extra piercing, and whatever. Lots more chances to activate lifesteal. So finding the whetstone there gave us a ton of extra. Taking a lot of hits here. These lampreys are really dangerous. I want to work my way over there and kill the loot alien if we can. Loot alien ran the other direction, unfortunately. I don't think we're going to be able to kill it. Yeah, so didn't manage to get the loot alien, which is very unfortunate. That would have been huge. Every box that you open has a pretty high likelihood of giving you extra % damage also, because the Renegade, just random level 1 items are so good for us. I'll take the 9 max HP here. Now I'm much happier with how much max HP we have. And then I've got to take movement speed. The luck would have been really nice, but playing at -5 movement speed is just sort of unplayable, so we're not going to do that for too much longer. Medkit, that's a lot of regeneration, and even though we're a lifesteal build primarily, that much regeneration is hard to turn down, so we're going to take it. Here, I will combine to a level 3, and then buy this wand, and that way, if we find any more wand, we can get a level 4. We'll take the med kit, take the jerky. Because I have the jerky, I'm going to take the garden as well. It's now worth a lot of extra healing for us. Take the penguin, lock the schmoop, and then roll. And jelly, again, another level 1 item. I'll take the Tyler also. We are building elemental damage, and we have a scared sausage, so it'll apply burning for us. It can be pretty useful here. Oh yeah, another good reason to pick up the garden is it just makes that weird ghost a little safer too, because we can go grab the fruit and heal back to full immediately. These two healers healing each other are making a lot of trouble for us. You can hear the gears in my brain turning as I struggle to make a joke about that is appropriate to say on YouTube. The damage reduction, of course, from the mantis shrimp is a real problem. Taking a lot of hits here, I need to back up. I was hoping to run in and get those extra materials that we left on the ground, but I just wasn't able to. Alloy is great, of course, the extra elemental damage. The crit chance isn't bad either. We're not really building dodge this run, I don't think, so the alloy has very few penalties and a lot of bonuses. I need more attack speed, so we're going to go with that, and very happy to get this wand going to a level 4 wand. Now, obviously, nuclear launcher is the most fun option here, but this is a really difficult and interesting run, so while I would love to play Renegade with the nuclear launcher, it's just super fun, we're going to pass on it here because we're playing the wand build. If we were playing a different item, like an easier weapon, then I would take the nuclear launcher and just go nuts. But when it's a really challenging weapon like this, I want to, see if we can actually win with just the wand. I will lock a crown. That's going to be good for later. I think it will pay off even with only 50 harvesting, and the schmoop, of course, for extra HP. All right, let's see if we can make it through the elite fight. This is the hardest elite we could have gotten, I think. Doubt we're going to be able to kill it. I'm going to check my damage on it. Yeah, no, there's no chance. So we're just going to stay away from the elite and try to stay alive. It generates so many projectiles that it just makes where we can stand on the map heavily constrained. I bought the Tyler instead of the schmoop in the last shop because I was thinking we would need help with wave clear and the Tyler would do that, but I probably should have just bought the more defensive option going into the elite fight, so might have been a mispurchase by me there. More health and regeneration would have been better than a small amount of extra wave clear for this elite wave, I think. The jerky, of course, as always, an all-star, just keeping us topped up at all times. And the med kit, combined with our high lifesteal. So yeah, fairly clean survival on that elite fight, feeling happy with that. Gonna take the max HP here. I definitely want to boost my max HP a little bit more. Take the crown and the corrupted shard. We'll grab the schmoop. Plastic explosive we don't have any use for. Peacock and Bean Teacher are both pretty interesting. Next wave, how likely are we to care about the plus 50% enemy damage on the next wave with the Peacock? Because that could be a lot of extra XP, which we definitely want. On the other hand, I could just play it safe and take neither of these items. I think I'm going to just do that. I'm going to take the Gentle Alien and the Weird Ghost. Weird Ghost is safe. I know, I said I'm playing it safe and then took Weird Ghost, which might seem a little weird. But Weird Ghost is pretty safe to take because we have all of our defensive measures. Although, because of where things spawned, I wasn't able to get to the garden, and I killed the blobfish before I could pick up a fruit. So I did have to play fairly carefully around the lampreys that popped out there. So the Weird Ghost was a little bit more dangerous than it normally would have been this wave, just because of where the garden spawned, so we couldn't get it before we had to actually run away from enemies. But didn't end up hurting us. This is going to be one of the problems with Wand on this map, is that enemies can get cursed, and that increases their HP, and then our low single target damage really messes us up. And the tower enemies, the stargazers that turn into the mini-bosses, it is going to be really hard to kill them before they get to their towers. And since we're just splashing damage around, it's also really hard for us not to accidentally kill the towers. I'll take the blindfold here. It's only 27, and while I don't think we're going to be building dodge, we might end up building a little dodge if it shows up cheaply. Take the elemental damage. Ice Cube, of course, is a big boost to our damage output, and we're very happy to see all three of these items, getting us to minus 32%. Lost Duck does cost me an elemental damage, but the most important thing by far is boosting our percent damage, so we're still taking Lost Duck. Medical Turret, I don't think we need the medical turret. I'm going to pass on that. I'll take a Terrified Onion. I'll take a bat for more lifesteal. Roll one more time here. Do I want more piercing on my weapons? Going up to 3 pierce with the bandana. I don't think we need 3 pierce. Given the number of projectiles we have, the amount of pierce we have, I think is sufficient. This is also a very hard elite to have rolled. It also really constrains our movement. So we're fighting the hardest elite, but of course, we are playing a very strong class. So although we are playing with a weak weapon and fairly difficult circumstances, the Renegade is just very, very powerful, so... Okay, I walked into 3 attacks there. I've got to go pick up some fruit to try to heal back up. But, of course, we are getting more regeneration as the wave goes on from the med kit, so that is helping to keep us alive as well. Not making great income at this point, but we are staying alive, and that's what matters. I'll take the dodge here because when we get 9% dodge like that, it actually can be fairly useful. And then we already have 1 level 4 wand, so let's go ahead and combine to just more lower level wands. Saltwater we're passing on. Incendiary turret we don't need. Honey doesn't do anything for us. Decomposing flesh is probably still fine even this late. More lifesteal is really important. Snake is going to help just spread the burning damage and also increase our damage output. And poisonous tonic, also good for all the reasons that it's normally good. What's wand's crit damage, actually? It actually crits for 2x. So the crit chance that we're buying isn't horrible. The real problem with Wand is it's super low base damage, but once you get enough elemental damage, the attacks from the Wand actually end up being a decent amount of damage. especially, of course, as we find more different level 1 items and fix our percentage damage. The ice cube was massive as well, just giving us a flat 10% increase to all of our damage, basically. Those damage multipliers come after every other multiplier, so it doesn't sound like much, but 10% on top of everything that you're already getting is a really big increase to your damage output. And it also helps just meet breakpoints where enemies die faster, which lets you switch damage to more different enemies, so it really all adds together to increase your clear speed. Yeah, we'll take the cape for sure. We want lifesteal and we're building dodge. Losing 2 elemental damage is a price I'm willing to pay. Definitely another scared sausage. Now that we have 30 dodge, we can build more dodge, because the more dodge you have, the better each point of dodge gets. Upgrade a wand here, take a tonic and a banner. Small magazine I'm going to pass on. Cyclops worm I'll still take. This item, of course, we get at 80% lower value than other characters, but our percent damage is at minus 23, so buying percent damage is still the best way to increase our damage output. I would buy Not here if I was just strictly going for win rate, I think. Not is the item. Not would be really good here. We don't need to upgrade our weapons, but I dislike this item so much I'm going to pass on it anyways. And then we'll keep leveling our wands. Plus, we might find a cursed wand, and we'd be so sad if we found a cursed one. But I will point out that just to help you win the game, buying the Knot there is definitely correct. Because 15 HP and 15 damage is way better than being able to spend money on upgrading our weapons. We already have the weapon levels we need. Trying to kill this tower before the mini-boss spawns. Hard to get all of them because the Stargazers have so much HP. So we're going to end up fighting a lot of mini-bosses this wave, which is going to be bad for several reasons. One, they're very dangerous, but two, they absorb a lot of damage, which prevents us from killing as many curse aliens as we'd like. And wave 16, a lot of curse aliens spawn. Okay, I gotta focus up here. Taking a lot of hits. Wave 16, a lot of curse aliens spawn, so you really don't want to be wasting damage on other stuff, because you can build up your curse. Whetstone, of course, we'll take. Terrified Onion. Yeah, I'm going to take that. Going up to 16 movement speed is a pretty big deal, and then I'll take more attack speed, which I definitely want. I'll take this and this and this. Up to minus 17% damage. I'll take the lantern as well. We will upgrade our wand, take the pencil, do one more reroll. I think the Insanity actually is a pretty significant increase to our damage output because wand crits for 2x, so I'm going to lock that and keep building crit chance here. Normally, crit chance doesn't make any sense to build on burning builds because the burn damage can't crit, but for this character, a lot of our damage is coming from our actual weapon attacks, and doubling those is a pretty significant increase to our damage output. Took, of course, a couple extra hits there, but we had the garden making a lot of fruits and the jerky, so those fruits are worth a ton of extra healing, so we were fine. I'm always baffled by, every once in a while I'll get some really anti-jerky commenters who are like, this is the worst item in the game, I always avoid it, etc. And I'm just like, have you have you used the item? Look at what it does. I'll take the leather vest as well, and that will increase my defensive stats quite a bit. I don't really care about any of this. I guess I'll upgrade my wand here. The pearl, the extra damage output from that is very low because we only have 18 luck. I'll lock a butterfly. Again, even though we're decreasing our elemental damage, our lifesteal matters, and boosting our percent damage matters the most of anything. So I've actually got much better defensive stats and much better offensive stats. I wonder if we can kill the elite here. Doesn't look like it. Maybe. It would be really nice if we could. Elemental builds usually can't kill elites unless you roll into Greek Fire, but we've managed to build a decent amount of damage. It's not quite at half health, though, at 30 seconds in, so I think we're going to be just shy of killing it, which will be sad. The other enemies on the map are just absorbing too much damage. So we'll try to build enough damage to kill the bosses, but it looks like we're not able to get any elites this run. Oh, okay, I got lucky on that dodge. We would have died if I hadn't gotten that 50% dodge. Though, to be fair, I missed 4 50% dodges to get in a row to get down to that HP. So it's not like we were just totally saved by a 50%, but obviously you don't want to be putting anything to chance, or 58% even. You don't want to be putting anything to chance, even if the chance is very much in your favor. Yep, we'll keep taking more items like that. I'm going to pass on the sunglasses. Particle Accelerator would have been a fun one as well. We'll take the Lemonade. Beanie, I don't... no, I do want to go to 20% movement speed. Okay, that's what we were hoping for. Cursed Greek Fire. Cursed Boxing Glove I'll take as well, probably. The knockback is actually kind of nice. Although, not on the boss wave, we don't need it. But the Cursed Greek Fire is going to be of course, let us actually kill the bosses. So, that's going to be amazing. Improved tools. I probably just want the extra attack speed also. Our structures, we've only got the Garden and the Tyler, but those do benefit from improved tools. So, let's go ahead and just buy those. The Boxing Glove I'd have bought if it wasn't Wave 19, because buying Curse is really good. But we won't get a chance to actually use the Curse, since we're just rolling for Wave 20 items. I'd like to pick up 2% more dodge, so we're at dodge cap, although you can see why I don't trust dodge from what almost happened to us last round. We have a lot of knockback, actually, because we got the lantern, so if we'd gotten that earlier, we could have done some pretty cool stuff with knockback. Knockback on these kinds of builds where you're firing a lot of projectiles is actually pretty fun. It can buy you a lot of space. And knockback is very good for burning builds. Not very good. As good as it gets, which is not very good. But it's as good as it gets in burning builds because your damage is all dealt over time, so pushing enemies away is really important. I'm going to take the 9% speed. I think that'll help the most. We'll take Greek Fire, Energy Bracelet, Improved Tools, and then roll. Unfortunately, can't buy the duct tape and can't buy any of these, so let's just see what we could have gotten. Helmet and coupon, or helmet at least, we'd have been very happy with. But, of course, now we've got the Greek Fire, so we can try to kill the bosses, and Greek Fire does just shred bosses. I actually really liked Greek Fire when it was a tier 3 item. They made it a tier 4 item, and I preferred it at tier 3 because I thought it was cool that elemental builds had a way to kill bosses, to kill elites that you could get relatively reliably, not super reliably, but you know, enough to use it in many runs. Our damage, of course, to the bosses is dealt slowly over time and from far away, so all I need to focus on is dodging here, really. Because we're just waiting for the Greek Fire to tick them out. Now, as they get really low, we're going to have to start hitting them with our actual weapon attacks, because Greek Fire is based on their current HP. So, the lower their HP, the less damage it does. But, we got there. That was a really fun run, actually. I was sort of expecting I always like playing Renegade because it's very strong and very fun, but I was just sort of expecting this to be not the most exciting run in the world because Renegade's such an easy character. But then rolling into Wand made it, or such a powerful character at least, rolling into Wand made it much more fun because suddenly we had to really work for this win. Taking a look at our items here, coupon was worth 256 materials. Should have been 257. I bought things in the wrong order. The sharp bullet was very good. This was very important. Scared sausages dealt 21k damage, which is pretty nice for scared sausage. The pumpkin was pretty good, I think. That helped with our wave clear. Obviously, the eye surgery was great as well. The med kit was massive, just gave us a ton of regeneration. Jerky, of course, an all-star as always. Crown was worth 56 materials, which is definitely worth it. Or 56 harvesting, which is definitely worth it, because that takes every wave and helps grow our harvesting more itself. The Tyler did pretty well, 17k damage, not bad. The Ice Cube, of course, was an enormous boost also. The Decomposing Flesh for 6 lifesteal. Yeah, we got to 28% lifesteal, which is what let us survive so cleanly in the later rounds. And then buying a bunch of extra attack speed as well. Greek Fire dealt 55,000 damage in the single wave that we had it. So Cursed Greek Fire, of course, proving its worth for killing bosses. Love this item. And I love that elemental builds have a way to kill elites and bosses. So it's just fun that it exists. I really think it could have stayed at tier 3 to make that more consistent, but as is, it's a really fun boost to this type of build to let you do a thing that you normally don't get to do. That's the Renegade, and yet another tally on our win streak, despite some weaker rolls for weapons lately, so feeling good about that. We'll see if we can keep that up. As always, of course, if you have enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.